Hello everyone, welcome back to Hearthstone. My name is Rooster and we're playing Aggro Druid on the ladder today. So this is an interesting kind of list. I picked this up from a fellow named Mr. Yagut, whom you might very well be familiar with if you're following the Hearthstone professional scene. He's been using this deck to climb the ladder last week, so it is very well possible that the best time to be playing this deck has already passed, and it is made for a metagame that is not the one we are in right now. However, it might be an interesting experiment, first of all, and second of all, it can give some pretty quick games, so it could be a pretty good deck to in certain situations climb the ladder with. Alternatively, just to finish your Druid quests in a timely manner, which might very well be relevant. I'm certainly innovating out a Rooster over here, and then next question will be, do we coin or innovate out something else? I don't hate coining out the Finley here, to be honest, just to get the hero power going. It's not going to be... yeah, it's relevant enough, I think. Let's coin out the Finley, see what we get. Should have done that first, actually. Maybe. If our opponent's going for Mage hero power, then I think we're going... these are pretty much the worst hero powers you could get, I think. Aside from maybe Warrior, I'll go for Lesser Heal. Let's see how this works out for us. Getting the Warlock hero power is pretty good. Getting the Hunter hero power is also pretty good. So that could work for you. And I think we are pretty much trading most of the time here. Could go for a Mark of Yeshuraj here, which is not awful, and I think I might actually like that plan. So we could either... I think I'll do it like this, because that allows us to trade and then innovate a hero power, and we'll see where we go from here. We are rapidly running out of gas, but as long as we can keep some minions out on the board, which might, of course, be a challenge against the warrior, we'll see where we go from here. Yeah, pretty much have to start going face here. Yeah, that thing is going to take down our Fruity Doctor most of the time, so let's just try it like this. He's very much incentivized to trade against one or the other. Might have a weapon. We might be in trouble here. But I'll pretty much credit that to getting a worse hero power than our opponent did. Because that's very much a problem. That is a good draw, though, I will admit. Because that's a pretty good trade, and might as well. Why not? We pretty much need some card draw here. Using that Mark of Yeshuraj might have been worth it, but it did cost us a card, and our opponent is running a deck with quite a bit more late game than we do, which is a bit of a problem. Are we going for the 3-2 here? It's going to be better than the alternative, I think. Going to get more damage in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. Okay. That is a little ugly. You never want to really use that for the 3-2 if given the opportunity. And there goes our board. Yeah. That could be an excuse to use the Power of the Wild for the +1/+1, but I'm not really sure about that. Not even killing the 1/1. No respect. No respect. So we could have made something work with the Power of the Wild here. I'm not quite sure. We can't target that, so that's kind of a problem. I don't think we can outlast them. So we pretty much have to go all in here, I think. No ability to trade here. Well, we'll let him trade first, and then we'll see how it goes. But he's got the late game here, and we pretty much need to kill him before he kills us. And the Priest Hero Power will help in that regard. We haven't lost this game yet, but we are going to need a lot of good stuff pretty soon. How's that? You can keep going for the well played, but I haven't lost yet, sir. You don't have your warrior hero power, so there's no way for you to regain... Oh, that is a problem. Alright, we can't deal with that right now, can we? No. That is, I'll totally blame that on Finley, but that wouldn't really be fair. If we had gotten a Hunter or a Warlock hero power, that game would have been absolutely different, though. And there's a pretty decent chance of finding one of those two, I would say. In other news, what might surprise you about this deck is the lack of any kind of direct damage. All damage is dealt through minions, which means that when your opponent gets down a decent-sized taunt, so especially druids, Cthulhu druids or Ram druids, are going to be a big problem. I'll keep the Mounted Raptor here, since we've got kind of a curve leading into it, and... Well, maybe I should have thrown it away. There's a decent chance of us finding something better to do. I'm not sure. Let's see about that.
My greetings.
I don't hate coining out the Loot Hoarder here. It'll at least draw us a card. We've got the Direwolf as a follow-up for next turn, and using the Worgen Infiltrator here does feel kind of bad. Although it will allow us to trade next turn, I don't know about that. The problem with the Worgen here is that we're pretty much giving up the game for a 50-50, which is not the way you want it to go. Same problem arises again here, where if we, for example, play the Direwolf, then the Bat can trade in. I think we're just killing the Bat. We can hero power the Bat, which I don't like. Let's just trade and draw a card. Let's see if we get anything meaningful from that. We'll go for the Worgen plus the Abusive over here. Got some decent trading opportunities. I wonder what the Hunter... Hunter has kind of a slow start, which of course is good for us. Getting that in his hand, I'm okay with that. If he plays that, that's rather slow. Kind of a bad start though, I will admit. Should we go wide or should we go with the Raptor here? I don't mind if he trades for the Raptor, although a possible Unleash would be rather bad. I kind of like the Raptor here, and let's just start going face. He's going to have to start trading at some point, and Unleash is not all that common anymore nowadays. That is a way for him to not have to trade immediately, but we do have the answer on the table right away, so I'm not incredibly worried here. We can trade into 2-1 and then innervate. Do we want to innervate this guy? I don't hate it. Alternatively, yeah, we kind of want to make use of the innervate as soon as possible. Alternatively, we could... Yeah, Savage Roar doesn't really do anything here. It gets some damage in, and we can use our face on this. That is actually kind of appealing. That would allow us to, for example, Direwolf. I think he would have Unleashed if he had the opportunity. That's actually really curious. I think I'll go for that play, as strange as that may look. That makes our next turn really awful, though. If we... Yeah, it's probably... leaves us with a really good board, though. Let's just try. Let's just try. We can deal a lot of face damage here. Force him to trade. If he has Unleash, then he has Unleash, but in most other occasions we are actually in a pretty good spot. We're really putting him on a clock. Our next turn might suck a little bit. I will admit. That might be a problem. But he's got to make some pretty difficult choices here.
It's getting hot in here.
Uses that first. Going face is excellent. Oh, so he did have the Unleash. Why did he go for that first? I don't know. Why would you play Flame Juggler before Unleash, ever? I don't understand. But yeah, that's a little ugly, I will say. We do have to finish him in kind of short order. We can play this and trade, that's probably fine. Let's see where we go from here. The face damage doesn't matter and you really have to kill off the 4-1, obviously. Deadly shot, oh my. That's entirely justified, of course, but does not look pretty for us all of a sudden. That's kind of the deal with. You'll have to trade both. That's acceptable. Let's see if we can get him down before Call the Wild hits. I expect him to have to make some ugly trades here, so that's okay. Eliminate some kind of pressure. Can we kill him before next turn, though? Not with what we have in hand. Not with what we have in hand here. We're gonna need a Mark of Yashiraj or something pretty soon. Ooh, not being able to kill that is also really ugly. I've been liking Tundra Rhino in Hunter Dice a lot lately. It's just really punishing if your opponent can't get rid of it. And that is pretty much game. Yeah, we can't really face check that one. We don't have enough cards to do anything else. That's game. Alright. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. So hunters have been playing Unleash lately, but it's mostly just to counter Zoo. So there will be plenty of hunter games where your opponent just does not have it. I don't think it's worth playing around unless it's not really costing you anything. So yeah, I don't know about that. If they do play Unleash, you're going to be in trouble with a deck like this, especially. And that's Fiery Bat. Maybe I shouldn't have played around to Fiery Bat so heavily. That might have been a bigger mistake even. How much do I like this curve? Not really. I'll keep the Druid of this. I can't really. Let's throw away the Mark. See if we can get a different one drop. That would be pretty good. And the Mark will be decent later still, so that's okay. Especially with the double Abusive Sergeant, that's actually quite excellent. Let's see what our opponent is up to. So I've played a few test games with this deck, and it turns out to be quite okay, as long as you can avoid the really bad matchups. Usually you can just kind of race people a little bit. We could just ignore it here and play a stealth minion just to have something better to do on next turn. Although I still don't hate just developing both of the abusives, and that's still fine. Could have gone for face here, attacked face for 5. That's just way too dangerous. If he would coin out a Feral Spirit there, then we would have been in trouble. If he coins out a Feral Spirit here, we are actually in trouble too. Yeah. Maybe I should have gone for the Druid of the Saber play. That top deck does help though. So we could trade the 1/1. Living Roots. We can Mark of Yashiraj on this one. That's probably okay. Trade's still not perfect, but it's good enough. We'll do with that. Sure. Alternatively, we could have hero powered and living roots. Wait, would that have been better? If we hero powered, why did I not consider that? I did consider it briefly. So hero power on one, then trade 1/2/1 in. Then living roots the other, trade the 1/1 in. So we basically traded our Mark of Yashirash for a 3/1 minion. That's fine, that's fine. Not exactly the top deck we want, but we'll deal with it. At least we can innervate out whatever we draw next. So that's probably fine. Yeah, once you've already dumped your entire hand, an innervate is not really what you want to see, but at least we can play an Argent Commander next turn if we draw one, so that's some kind of consolidation prize. Our opponent's playing Aggro Shaman, so that's good news for us, especially since we've gotten a decent start here. And he appears to be going face as well. Let's see if we can outrace him. He does have the card advantage right here. So the real question here becomes, can he afford to not kill our minions for too long? And I'm not sure about that. We're going face here. He's only got one of those guys. He's gotta be worried, right? We've been holding his card, and if it were a Savage Roar, would he have been dead if this were a Savage Roar? I don't know. Ooh, that could be dangerous. That's unfortunate, but happens sometimes. Still got 6 damage going in, so that's kind of okay. Yeah, I think we do have to kill a couple minions, but let's force the trade onto him again. He's gotta start feeling worried, so he's gotta trade all of his minions in. We draw an extra card, we get a 1-cost minion, so we could still be fine. That's not the minion you want to see, though. I will admit. Although it is a beast, so if we can Mark of Yashirash that would actually be hilarious. He's killing the chicken, though, it appears. Not taking any risks, and that taunt totem is really awkward for us. Let's see what we can do here. We can charge down the taunt totem, and that allows us to kill another minion with our hero power, so that's okay. And in that case, do we Power of the Wild for a 3/2? I guess we do. I guess we actually do. So if we charge this down, we will have a 2/1 and a 3/2 on the field. And we killed a 2/1 with our hero power, right?
Another night on the prowl.
Yeah, we basically have to kill the taunt totem right now. And I guess that means we're killing... We could go face, but that's not really helping us here. Let's force him to trade his minion in. Because that did prevent 1 face damage to ourselves here, so that's decent. This innervate is not doing anything here. Feels bad, man. Okay, so a Trog, a 7/7, and a trade. Alright. So what are we hoping to draw here? If I went face last turn, then I wouldn't have had... Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. So... Yeah, we're always going face here, right? Killing this thing, or do we want to really put him on lethal for next turn? I guess we want to put him on lethal, and allow him to trade his minions into the board. It's going to be the better plan, I think. Although, does the 1/1 really add anything here? I don't think so. In that case it does. That's nasty. That's downright nasty. Any top deck that saves us here. Living Roots does. Sir Finley might. And that's basically it. That's the only cards that are really going to help us here. Because we can't get rid of those things. Oh my, oh my. We're dead next turn, aren't we? Yes we are. I guess we are. Let's see, if we trade here, we are down to 12. He's got 12 on the field. Wow.
I can see.
Double feral spirits! It happens sometimes. Ouch. That really hurt my feelings, guys. Ow. Okay, well. You win some, you lose some. Although we have yet to see the first part of that, unfortunately. At least the games are quick, right? Well, not if you play like me. We could have conceded some of those games a lot sooner. So if you're really trying to grind out the ladder, I guess you could go for that. But I do like finding the line that might still win you a game that looks hopeless at first. I do enjoy a challenge at times. I'm keeping the Druid of the Saber. That's probably wrong, actually. We are sort of likely to actually find the 2-drop before turn 2, and we want to maximize our chances at finding something useful on turn 1. So that's not a good start.
Hello.
Not what we want at all, especially if our opponent, well, I guess we're going all in on this thing here. We basically have to. Our opponent going second is not good news for us, but as long as she doesn't take a 50-50 on an arcane missile here, then we should be okay-ish. That does not look like an arcane missiles to me, so that's good. Do we Mark of Yashiraj here? I guess we do. She can Frostbolt this down next turn, but at least we're drawing a card. Am I really trading into that? I don't know. I could Hero Power that, I could Mounted Raptor. I could Mounted Raptor and trade, and she trades the Blood Mage in, and I still have a Beast on the field. But that also feels rather slow. Let's just go for this and see if we draw anything useful. No. I don't know about that. Thank you, Mando. I'm not sure that is well played. I think this game went wrong at the mulligan already. But I am sort of okay with where this hand's going. I don't know about that. We could Dire Wolf and Hero Power, or do I really care about the Hero Power here? Would allow her to Frostbolt or Torch, I guess. Do I really care that much about it? Yeah, I kind of want to protect that thing a little bit, so let's kill this. I'm not sure that's the correct move, but having something out on the field is going to benefit us. It might force out a Frostbolt that she might otherwise use on our Savage Combatant, so there's the thought process behind that. So next turn it would probably be Mounted Raptor and Power of the Wild, or any other alternatives. Double Power of the Wild perhaps to trade in if she doesn't spell here. She still has the coin, doesn't she? Why doesn't she coin? Well, what is she holding out for? Did she coin out to Thelmos? I don't remember. No, I'm pretty sure she didn't. So what are you waiting for? Might as well see where the missiles from the coin land, right? You're always coining on the turn you're playing a Flamemaker. Unless my board is empty, I guess, but it's not. You really don't want to take the risk that I have a second Mark of Yashirash, do you? Or did you just disconnect? That would be a real shame. Come on, come on. There it is. Coin into nothing. Well, that's a shame.
Amazing.
I agree. That's pretty amazing. Let me think about this. So we could Mounted Raptor into double Power of the Wild. Is that good enough? I guess that's kind of fine. We're not able to kill this unless we Savage Combatant and something, right? So how about just a Mounted Raptor indeed? If we hero power and Power of the Wild once, that would also deal with it, and that would preserve our Power of the Wild for next turn. That's actually kind of reasonable. Is that worth an Innervate though? We pretty much have our next few turns set up for us, I think, so that is actually kind of okay. I would like to preserve the Power of the Wild for just a little bit, so let's go for this one. Not sure that's right, but you can't leave a Flamemaker alive. So it was either going to be double Power of the Wild, which would give us a +1/+1 on the Mounted Raptor, and force a hero power from her on the next turn, I guess. Alternatively, I don't know. Let's see what our opponent does here.
What to do? What to do?
That's an interesting choice, actually. There's a Frostbolt, alright.
Can I light your fire?
And that's probably fine. Do we want to kill that? We probably want to kill that, right? Well, let's just go for this one. So against Tempo Mage, is she starting to run out of answers yet? I don't believe she is, but in the case that she's not able to deal with this Savage Combatant, things can get pretty savage over here. Okay, we've at least got some cards, so there's something. We did no face damage though, so that's not the way you want things to go here. She just fireballed, so that makes me think she might have some trouble dealing with this one here. Her hand is also rather slow. Could we... next turn we could Argent Commander and Power of the Wild, that's not awful. Depends on what our opponent's up to here. Okay, well, there's pretty much no situation in which we're not killing that, so I guess we're... I don't hate going Savage Combatant, Power of the Wild. And in that case, we have to hero power if we do this. Either that or we Argent Commander Power of the Wild. Don't particularly like it, no. No, I kinda like this plan here. You can't leave that alive, can you? No. We pretty much cannot. Let's give our minions +1/+1, mostly so she can't ping this down, but also so this doesn't die to Flame Strike right now. Which would be a very likely possibility for her next turn. Any answers left, ma'am? Any answers left?
I wonder.
That turn with the Flamemaker could have actually been on purpose. Making us believe that we didn't have... No, that doesn't seem particularly likely. That is an interesting card, by the way. Arcane Explosion. You don't see those a lot. Do we want to hero power this turn? Not really. We could, I guess, but we could also just draw a card. How about that? We were always going to do that regardless, right? No, that's not horrid. Sure. Let's get those things out of here. So if the Flame Strike comes here, then we are pretty screwed, I will admit. Flamemaker into Frostbolt. Not guaranteed to clear, but she might have a couple more spells. That didn't clear anything, so that's good. Anything else you might have? There's probably an Arcane Intellect in your hand somewhere. That is probably the correct approach here. Did not clear. We can't leave that alive though. So that's kinda ugly. It's just going to clear our board over and over again, so not really an option. And we are kinda out of gas here.
Well played.
There might be a Yogg coming. There's still 2 Savage Roars in our deck, but there will be hard pressed to keep any minions alive against the Mage. Double Arcane Intellect. Okay, well is a lot of card advantage, I will say. And there's the Arcane Missiles, isn't it? Yeah, that's a few interesting cards in that deck, though. I didn't expect the, well, it wasn't particularly effective, the Twilight Flamecaller. And the Arcane Explosion, I guess. Kind of a strange build, actually. But yeah, we basically lost there.
I concede. Go play.
Not really looking like a glowing introduction to this deck. I would be awfully tempted to add a couple swipes and at least get some reach in here, because getting your opponent down to 8-ish health might be possible with a deck like this. But I don't see us finishing any games off. I mean, that game against the Shaman, well, that was awful. Warlocks. How do we expect to deal against Warlocks? I don't know. Let's see. If it's Zoo, I don't know. How do we deal with Zoo? I think I'm keeping both of these. Justice of the Saber is excellent on turn 2, and we have something to do on turn 1, which is better than nothing, as you might know.
The light protects me.
And that's a decent first draw, so that's at least pretty good. Alright. What are we up against? Give it to me. We are up against Zoo, alright. Well, that's 3 damage dealt already, that's pretty good. So, let's go for this one. And this one. And that leaves us in a decent position to at least keep control of the board for a few more turns. Our opponent might play up to 3 minions this turn. That means we're likely able to deal with it at least. Or, yeah, so that's 3 minions. I don't hate hero powering even this turn. Or we could just let our opponent deal with our minions, because we're just going to trade them off one by one, aren't we? I guess we could hero power 1 down. That's not unreasonable. He could kill 1, we have 2 minions left. So we hero power 1 of them, and we abuse of Sergeant. He kills both of the Sergeants, but we do still... We could actually keep the Sergeants alive by making these trades. That's not the worst idea. Getting favorable trades will translate into extra damage on the next turn, so I guess that's still fine. I'm not really thinking about positioning, and I should be, because there's a Direwolf in our deck. And that always means you have to be careful about where you're putting your minions. Kinda sloppy. Is that a Voidwalker? It's not a Voidwalker. Okay, that's good. Are we interested in clearing that minion? We are... well, he will always have a minion to buff on the field, so I guess he can make use of his sergeants and his whatnot. I guess I'll make a trade here. That's okay.
What to do?
I will make 1 trade. Just to reduce his options a little bit, and then we'll go for this stealth right here. There's no real use in hero powering there, I think. Just have to build some pressure, deal some face damage, because that does translate into fewer cards for him at a later date. Opponent did die, alright, and then more minions. Okay, are we trading? I guess we're not. We might do a little bit of trading. How about we trade into this, go face with the other, and then play this and make 2 more. We could also Living Roots down the 2-2 and then only trade the 1-1. This always happens, right? I think that always happens, so that means we're always playing this, we're not hero powering, we might Living Roots down this one. That's probably a decent idea, so let's go for that. That does give us, well, assuming a power overwhelming, that's not unreasonable, right? Then we have 5 damage, 6 damage, not really working out. No. Might tap into it. There is a power overwhelming. Power overwhelming on an Argent Squire is pretty good for us, though. It at least means he doesn't have a minion left after the fact, so that's decent. We can make a trade here, and hero power, pretty good. Alright, things finally looking to turn better here. Do we want a buff? I think we want a buff, yes. Because that allows us to do this, clear this mainly. Which is pretty sweet. And I don't think the Warlock can easily deal with this anymore. He might have to Soulfire and then Soulfire Mortal Coil. That doesn't look too good for him. Even that doesn't do enough. Soulfire Mortal Coil. Ah, there's a card. There's the card. Alright. That is pretty much the card he needed. We'll have to kill that. We'll have to kill the Taunt, I'm afraid. So yeah, that is a pretty good top deck, I will admit. We'll go for this one. We could have not attacked this turn and just gone for face. That means Abusive Sergeant. We've already used both of those. We've already used both Living Roots.
Get it out! Get it out!
Druid of the Saber is lethal regardless. Doesn't really matter, I guess. He's not tapping, so that's good for us. Oh, tapping would mean lethal, so yeah, that's kind of obvious. Now he literally can't tap him anymore, so yeah, bringing a Zulok down into the single digits is going to be pretty good most of the time. Alright, we did win a game, hurrah! I do think I'm done with this deck though. We've got a pretty good idea of what the deck's supposed to do, but this might not be the right environment. Neither the right place nor the right time. It's good to experiment though, but we can safely assume that this is not a deck you need to be too worried about facing on the ladder right now, unless you're that Warlock, of course. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. And if you have any suggestions on what deck to play next, please leave a comment below. I'll be picking up the daily videos again now that SGDQ is finished. So I'll see you again tomorrow.